I don't remember ever going to sleep hungry or not having breakfast in the morning. So that's what I loved, living in the township, because everyone cared for one another. You never felt sidelined. My name is Odwa Fuchane. I was born and bred in Lange township. And what I do is I'm a tour guide. My passion is mainly within the townships. And the reason being, this is where I grew up, and I would like to give people a more intimate experience and understanding of the life of the township. Firstly, in Lange, there's lots of different challenges. For one, is living conditions are very poor. So you'll find that most of the people will be living in very overcrowded conditions. You'll see families that are living in shipping containers. And within those conditions as well, there's lots of problems. So for her, she's been living in this condition since 2005. People from the municipality or the local government, they did come through to see the conditions, including the space, how small it is. And when they left, they said there will be other containers that will be sent, which will be slightly bigger than these, because some of these are already damaged. But however, moving to new government housing, and they're still not aware. So probably, or maybe another 10 years, they might still be living in the same condition. You'd find that in a room which would be maybe for a child, you can imagine the size, where you would have 3 different families living together. And you find that most families would consist of 5 members each. So you'll find that if there's a person that has TB, it becomes easier for other people to be infected. If there's flu, it can easily be passed on to other people. And you'll find that in that one tiny room, there's only one ventilation, of which it doesn't make any difference. Yeah, so she stays with the 3 children. So the last born, who is 11, had TB. So that's why she had to admit her to the hospital. So she sent her daughter to the clinic first, and they couldn't tell what the problem was. And then she sent them to Vanguard Hospital, which is in Pontyville. Even there, same thing happened. They couldn't figure what was happening. So from Vanguard to Red Cross,
Somerset.
So in Red Cross, they couldn't tell what was, and then to Somerset, which is another. And that's where they eventually figured that the child was suffering with TB. Her daughter she had good care in a way, and then she was discharged home, and then she had to go to the clinic with Maneza Papa, because there's certain porridges they provide that are good for the immune system.
6 months, yeah.
So including the medication, which was for 6 months, so every probably week or month she had to go and collect the medication. Okay, there's one clinic a hospital is further away. And when I spoke of service delivery, you also find that there's always a lack, and people most of the time would have to do things on their own and make a way to get the help or assistance.
Okay.
For example, in Lange we have one clinic which caters for young mothers, for children, for vaccination. However, for major operations including labor, you would have to go outside of the township. And the clinic also opens for a certain number of hours, not every day, usually Monday to Friday. Care for one is for free, but it doesn't mean that it's very good. I can't clarify enough to say how much budget that goes towards healthcare. However, if you're looking for the best medication and assistance, it's through private. And if you're living in the township, there's a hospital in Portugal, in Belgrade, which caters for other different townships, including Lange.
Okay.
And you'll find that a day they take a certain amount of people. You have to wake up very early. Also, you'll find that the doctors are, I've seen people that are bleeding to death, and there's no one that actually comes to assist.
Shoko is sort of like a voluntary thing. So it's a non-profit organization that provides primary basic health care to needy individuals. So it happens Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday nights, and then there's a pediatrics clinic that happens every 2 weeks on the Saturday. Coming here, I realized that if you attend Shoko before you get to your clinical years, it's a great confidence booster.
Yeah.
It's a nice way to apply all that you have learned, and it's a nice environment where students teach students. Coming to Shoko, it just brings you back down to earth, but also it just freshens your mind in terms of what you need to know on a basic level, when to refer, kind of basic things. It's sort of like a nice let's go out kind of night, but also helping people.
In a working setting.
Exactly.
Everything you do as a child, you look up to your elder. So you'll find that even the elderly people, especially the men, there's too much negative happening, or too much drinking, consuming drugs like marijuana, and there are some abuse that comes with that as well. And you'll find that certain things become accepted, or they become okay. To give you an example, as a man, you're always the head of the house, and everything you say and do would be respected. And there are cases where, because of alcohol, there will be certain abuse that happens. As a boy growing up in a family where there's abuse, so what the father does, it sort of seems okay. Even as a girl, if your mother is being abused, you'll find that as they grow up, and they'll find themselves in similar relationships. Benefits of living in the township. Now, if you're coming from the villages, you'll find that you miss out on a lot of things. In the villages, there's a lack of education, a lack of healthcare, there's no development, So yes, we find that most people want to come closer to the cities because that's where most of the opportunities are. However, yes, from the villages coming to the cities, you'll find that there's poverty, so they come here and they can't afford to go to nice places. So townships would be the places where they are able to settle. So yes, if you're living in a township, but here there is education. So primary to high school, there is not enough schools, but still, you'll be able to get education to secondary, and then if you can afford, looking at tertiary and further. A positive thing is that we have family around. To give you an example, living in the hostel, we had 16 families that I was living with. I don't remember ever going to sleep hungry or not having breakfast in the morning. So that's what I loved, living in the township, because everyone cared for one another. You never felt sidelined. You only start to see differences or challenges when you grow up or when you go into different places of education. So when she came to live in the cities, which was in the early 90s, she saw other needs and other challenges of other children. So when she started by helping the few that she saw that needed help, because you'll find that some kids come from homes where the parents are sick, HIV and AIDS, alcohol related issues as well, abuse, so again physical abuse, sexual abuse, emotional. So some kids have families around, others, they had nowhere to go. So she said for her, seeing kids sleeping on the streets or in the bridges, she opened her own home to be a home for those in need. Whenever she's cooking, even if someone is drunk or come sit down, have something to eat, and then go back your way. And so that's how she is. That's how she started. There are other kids or girls, sometimes they get raped, and then because of the trauma, they can't bear to raise the child. So because of what she went through, it becomes very emotional for her to raise the child. So in a way, they've made an arrangement that after she's given birth to the child, mom is willing to take the baby in. So she mentioned there's 2 girls that went through the same trauma. She's a very caring person. So remember, she had 5 boys. My father never played a role in her life, but she stood strong and she did all she could to provide for children. So excluding us, she has over 20 kids that are part of this home. Still, there's not enough space, but on that side you can see there's quite a few beds. Also, there's a number of mattresses in between, so probably the older kids will sleep over there, and then the younger kids can lay other mattresses on the floor. My mother will sleep on that side with another elder of the kids per se, and then the rest will occupy the bed. And so there's nothing fancy. They have a basic cooking stove, which is a gas stove. So even the food they eat is very simple and basic. So when they're bathing, they have to use bathing tubs. Okay, it's used for washing outside, but they use bathing tubs. So you can imagine this is a crazy house in the morning. Whoever wakes up first will bath first. So they do everything here. They don't have their own meter box for electricity, which is another challenge she has. So she has a cable that will connect to other concrete buildings outside, and she has to pay for that because she's using from someone else's.
Okay.
So for her to save electricity, using a gas stove helps a bit. Lange is not a big township, even though there's lots of people. So you'll find that most of the people, in a way, they know one another. They do recognize each other. It's my responsibility when I see something wrong, I go and report or inform other people within the neighborhood that, hey, I saw someone breaking in or doing this or that. I feel it's one of the reasons Lange is one of the safest townships. I'm happy I grew up in the townships. I'm not happy of the challenges that comes with it, but there are also a lot more positive things that comes of living in a township. Ubuntu, which is humanity. And I don't think you'll find that anywhere else but within the townships. We have a saying which is ngabantu, and that means a person is a person through and through.